A very good day to you, dear students of grade 6. Hope you will be joining this session, ICT, Information and Communication Technology, the lesson for the second term. So, we will begin operating system. What is an operating system in detail, and you will be getting the definition with its possibility. So, if we congregate the definition for the operating system, it is this system software acts like an interface layer between user and the computer. Now, if we just elaborate it in detail, a system software acting like an interface layer. Now, when we power up the computer, the device driver, which is installing all the particular content of the folders, files, what we have interacted, everything will be sent into the front end. So, to send it over to the front end, it is having the particular involvement, working as an intermediate actor to perform the back-end processing functions towards the front end. To make it more functional in processing and always processing in depth, the OS needs it mandatory. So, therefore, the computer which manage the computer hardware and the software resources. Mainly we always inserting and installing many hardware devices which always we getting the multitasking utilities. To get the multitasking performances, we always getting the use of many different devices installing into the computer. To make it properly functional also, we need the OS. Providing common services for the user to utilize the functions of computer programs. So, utility programs mainly like antivirus guard, disk formatting, partitioning, then everything what it beyond coming with utility programs we will talk about in depth in the next following slide contents. The interface here. Normally, when you go to industry to work on, many people like undergrads and even right after A-level, post A-level students, if they are not much capable to identify office package in their school curriculum, they right after post O-levels, they would apply for different office package courses. But you can just save that money even if you have capable to impactfully interact with the office package during your school curriculum. That is why the school curriculum and even the education department have decided to put Microsoft Office package lessons to your ICT curriculum. Why? To save that even the laboric money you will be expending after the A-level exams. And some people after post O-level, they would apply for the different courses they are getting enrolled. You can save that money. So, here I have labeled all the parts which is necessary to identify on Microsoft Word interface. And you all know about the tabs, title bar, control buttons. You all are aware about it. And mainly if we talk about ribbon menu, whatever the tabs you would open from the main tab, it will be getting the expansion, the functions what you will be getting expanded list is called ribbon menu. And ribbon display options, the current slide or the current area you will be typing or updating on the computer is called ribbon display options, to make it like projecting onto the projector or as to show up on a large gathering. The current page of the Word is called ribbon display options to select on. First line indent, hanging indent and right indent. Right indent is always occupied to justify the page indentation. First line indent is called the first line of the paragraph to move here and there. If you move first line indent, then the first line, the letter would also be changing here and there. Hanging indent called the whole paragraph. If you selecting hanging indent, the whole paragraph or the whole page, the marginal line will be moved towards the centered. So, therefore, specifically identify what is first line indent, hanging indent and the right indent. Insertion point is called the mouse pointer, access point, mouse pointer, and here wherever it will be moving on the particular screen. And the rulers, vertical ruler and the horizontal ruler on top of that. The status bar. Status bar declare the number of pages and the current page where you have kept your mouse pointer out of how many pages. Then the word count as well. View buttons, read mode, normal mode and page web layout mode. Those three are the view buttons. And the zoom control. You can zoom it on, zooming in, zooming out if it is necessary. So, make sure to identify what sort of things you have to specifically identify from this interface. Graphic designing. So, 3D animation and graphic designing is all about the clear and focused job profession, which is a highly demanded one nowadays in current society. Many people like in ICT industry, they want to move on to graphic designing, and some people they want to recognized and penalized in a more demanded profession called social media executives. So, digital graphics gives higher concepts on 3D animation and graphic designing. So, let me brief it out. What is a digital graphic? Because digital graphic actually produce more pictorial effect and even like with design concepts combining text and image together. Like in images you all know with only colorful effect resolution and pixelate size is only being granted. But if it combined with the text effects, it produces a more featured resolution more than the things what you have effectively seen. So, contrasting the graphics actually with effect of the text and the image sources produce a more enlarged effect for you all to do graphic designing. So, digital graphics actually do image or visual resolution with representation of flattered objects. So, flattered objects in the sense, let me say a light or maybe a transistor or else a digital light projector, DLP only visualizing a particular presentation or a slide presentation which you will be inserted or else edited on your computer with HDMI effect. But the DLP need to have a resolution on transferring that 2D flattered object or a flattered image transferring into many more pixelate resolution. Then only the gathering or the audience can view it of more certain with entertaining mode. So, that is why we say digital graphics gives you a plenty of advantageable concepts. Sequence flowcharts is a simple format, because sequence flowcharts follows one action after the other in the same given order without missing any steps. That is how dealing with sequence flowcharts. So, if we talk about selection flowcharts, selection flowcharts always represents the flow of the function to select the correct path of given two alternative options. Now, in selection flowcharts, yes or no option always carries out either two alternative operations. Here on the bottom I have given a scenario. If there are like a class of 80 students or maybe 50 or whatever the number on roll, during exam time you will be given a remark, okay, above 50 people will be graded as pass, below 50 are failed. If we focus on this problem, if we draw the selection flow chart for this, start, which means always start and end having same symbolic representation. Enter average marks. Why enter average marks? If there are 9 subjects per one student, the whole 9 subjects will be, marks will be added together and divided by 9. That is called average of the student. afterwards the decision area, decision box. If average is equal or greater than 50, it should go along grade pass. If the average below 50, then that students will be going to the fail grade. Afterwards, either pass grade or fail grade, the student will be getting the results. That is the flow of the selection flow charts. This is the schema of the WWW, logical schema. WWW forms a website to search on. If we talk about from bottom to top, web pages and web content form a web page. Web page components and web content form a web page. Then the web page will be followingly routing to the websites. Then website will be routing to the congregation of WWW, because you will be routing through website name. You will be hosting, or else you will be feeding the URL or the website name. Then almost WWW will be routing the particular path for you to search on. So, if we talk about file transfer protocol, FTP, here I have given a pictorial for you how you would manage FTP and how you would transfer many different content for more group of people who will be having just forming as a team, who can communicate at the same time with the same protocol by file transfer. By file transfer, how they can communicate for each and every area of the designated scope is called file transfer protocol. The user using the TCP, the data communication mode, or the control connection. Let us say maybe the data transmission mode may be using twisted pair cable, the transmission cable wire mode. Then at that moment, using the disk space, they can transfer the files using this mechanism. The picture shows you the mechanism on how transferring the files using FTP. A bar into A plus B, bracket it, plus A plus B. This is the last result algebraic expression you will be writing. Be clear on what you will be always doing for the logic circuit diagrams. The results what you have got for the last column, which means the last column derives you the solution with the algebraic expression. Then once you finally write it over here, write A bar, then A plus B, bracket it, plus A plus B, bracket it again also. This will be the last final solution or the algebraic expression for you to align with on the given diagram. So, I hope you have got a clear-cut idea regarding how you would be expressing on a given logical diagram or the logic circuit diagram to draw on the question paper. When they give you the question paper with a logic circuit diagram and you were questioned to draw the truth table, this is how you will be given to do. And if they are given in the opposite way, if they have given the truth table and you were asked to draw the logic circuit diagram, make sure to pick one by one the columns and start drawing it. So, hope you have got it clearly, and we will meet up in the next presentation and the lesson content for the grade 10s in the next session. See you everyone.